Hi, and welcome to the third part in our Devolutions PAM series. In our last two videos, we explored the power of the Any Identity PAM provider, a customizable solution that allows you to discover and manage privileged accounts from almost any system. This gives you PAM capabilities like checkout approval, password rotation, and just-in-time privilege elevation on accounts that you normally wouldn't be able to manage without a built-in provider. Now, if you haven't watched those videos yet, I encourage you to check them out first by going to the description below, as they'll give you some context for what we're looking at today. Now, once you're managing your own custom providers like a pro, that's where password propagation steps in. It's not just about resetting a password, it's about automatically ensuring that those passwords stay in sync across all your systems. So today I'm zooming in on two example templates: resetting the password for an IaaS application pool and restarting a Windows service account. Both these PowerShell scripts can be applied on demand or on schedule. So let's import those scripts, take a look behind the scenes, and see them in action. So in Devolutions Server, let's start by going to Privilege Access and then heading over to the Propagation section. Then I'll go to Script Templates and I'll import that script JSON file that I've already created, and it's called Reset IaaS Application Pool. Now notice that these are script templates, and because they're templates, they're designed to be generic and adaptable rather than tied to a specific task, service, or account. Also, since these are customized scripts, you'll see that I'm going to be doing very specific things to my use case, and yours will vary quite a bit, but it gives you the sense of what is required in order for propagation scripts to run and the expected result. But if you are curious, if you go to our GitHub site, you can see that we have repositories there for password propagation scripts. You're more than welcome to browse there and see if there's a script that could help you get started on your propagation journey. I'll put links to our GitHub repositories in the description below. Let's check out this Reset IaaS Application Pool template first. So starting on the left, you'll see the propagation properties, and here are the various parameters such as the computer and application pool name, what I need to restart in IaaS, and a run as account and run as password. Now, without getting into all the details, I'm using run as here because my PowerShell script can run both on demand or on a schedule, and I don't want it to run as the application pool or the scheduler itself. I want it to run with a specific account and password so it doesn't create any issues. Next up, under property mapping, here I have specific attributes that pass into the script to handle the reset. For the account, you'll see a field mapping type. And what that does is that when I run this template, the script will look for a similar account name and match it for me. Finally, we reach the scripting section itself. Here we can see all the available properties like that new password parameter and the properties for the configuration and execution of the script. And then you can see here that I'm creating that run as credential, as well as opening a remote session using PowerShell 7. Then I have this script block here that will be using the IaaS administration module to set the username and password, also to restart that application pool, and finally send a confirmation message. Now let's take a quick look at the Windows Service Reset script. The propagation properties are similar, but this time we're going to be passing the service name instead of the application pool. And then the property mapping is identical to our other templates. So let's just move on to the script itself. You'll notice again a lot of similarities, like using PowerShell 7 as in the previous template, but here I'm actually going to set the service with a credential instead, and then I'm going to finally restart the service itself. If it's successful, it'll return a true Boolean value as well as a confirmation message. All right, so now that the templates are in place, let's go ahead and actually use them. So I'll head back to propagation and then I'll go to add. And the first one I'm going to add is that Reset IaaS Application Pool script. And then here I can name it Reset Warehouse App IaaS Pool. And then I'll specify the computer that I want this to run on. and then my application pool name as well, which is warehouse app in my case. And then here, like we talked about earlier, this is the run as account that I want to run this script with. Then if I go to property mapping, I actually have to configure this to run as a specific type of account. And in my case, I'm going to be using a domain user, but you can see there's other options available for you there. Then I can go in and select the source, which for me, it will be the account. And then the value that I want it to be mapped to is username. And then I will put in the domain that I want this to run on. And I'll click save. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and add the script that I need to reset my scheduler. And this is under reset Windows service. So I'm going to do the same things that I did earlier. I'm going to name it. This would be called reset warehouse app scheduler. And here I'll set the target computer and also the service, which I'm going to be calling warehouse scheduler. And then also we'll put in those credentials for the run as account and the run as password. And then just like earlier, we're going to map this to a domain user, and it'll come from my account, which is going to have that username value in it. And I'll put in the domain again here. Then we'll click save and save again. Okay, so now that both propagations are configured, we need to assign them to the accounts that they want to run on. So we're going to navigate to our warehouse database, and I'll start off with the warehouse IIS user account. And then I can go to its properties and go to the propagation section. And here I'm going to switch that to custom. And here's where I can define all of the scripts I want to run. So let's go ahead and add that IIS pool script. And then I'm going to click confirm and hit update. And let's not forget about our scheduler script. So let's go into the warehouse scheduler, go into the propagation properties and select custom, and then select the scheduler script as well. Okay, so now is the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and test that password reset functionality out. Starting with the IIS user, I'm going to go to the More button and click Reset Password. I'll get a little confirmation box. I'll hit yes, and there we go. The password was successfully reset, and I can also go to the logs here and see that the password propagation script did function correctly. Okay, moving on to the scheduler, let's do the same exact thing. We're going to go to the More button and reset password. We'll hit that yes to the confirmation box here, and we'll wait a second. And it looks like the password reset was a success. Also, if I check out the logs, you'll see the confirmation of the password propagation script ran correctly with a success there as well. And also to make a verification, I can go to the domain itself and I have a get win event commandlet that I can put in, and I can see that the warehouse scheduler as well as that IIS application pool had changes and the timestamps associated with them. So looks like everything was a success. So that's how password propagation works in Devolutions PAM, an efficient way to ensure all those interconnected accounts stay secure and in sync, whether it's application pools, Windows services, or any of the other accounts that we mentioned earlier in the video. This feature simplifies a traditionally complex task. If you'd like to dive deeper, we've got plenty of additional resources online, including documentation, tutorials, and other videos to help you get the most out of Devolutions PAM. You can find those linked below. So thanks for watching. Now, if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more guides and tips. And as always, feel free to leave your questions in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're using password propagation or plan to use it in your environment. See you in the next video.